r/AskReddit. What is the creepiest glitch in the Matrix you've experienced? It was like 4 in the morning and I'm quite the night owl, so I headed downstairs to grab something to drink. The kitchen is separated from the living room by a dividing wall, but I realize someone is in there because I can see a person's shadow from around the corner. I think to myself, oh, my roommate must be up already. Maybe he has something to do. So as I turn the corner I say, hey, roommate's name. Good morning. I immediately feel like an idiot and get a chill up my spine because no one is in the kitchen beside me. I search the entire first floor of the house frantically and no one is there. So I head back upstairs and knock on my roommate's door. No answer. So I slowly open the door. Roommate is passed out asleep and doesn't seem like he is waking up anytime soon. There is no way he could have made it back up to his room that fast without running, and I would have noticed because the floors are creaky, especially on the staircase. When he woke up in the morning I told him about what had happened. His eyes got real wide and he turned pale. He looked me right in the eye and said, "That isn't a funny joke, don't duck with me." Turns out he had been having bad dreams all night about someone being in the house who shouldn't have been, but whenever he confronted the person he could never see their face. All that was there was a black silhouette. I haven't had that experience since and we agree not to talk to each other about it. r/no sleep is leaking. This is late and pretty stupid, but why not? I was once showering and after about 10 minutes in the shower, I hear something ping and hit the floor. I looked down and saw a penny. I was pretty perplexed as you can imagine, but figured whatever, I'll keep it. As I imagined it could be good luck. I kept the penny in my wallet for a few years in a zipped side pouch. I never really told anyone because it was kind of pointless to talk a random penny I was superstitious about. So a few years later, while at a music festival, a girl in our tent woke up to a penny in her butt crack. We all laughed it off as having a wild night. However, I remembered the penny I had, and when I looked in the zipped pouch I was shocked to find it was gone. I told my friends and they didn't believe me. I think they threw that penny away too. TL Doctor teleporting ass penny. Not long after 9/11, on a Friday, I got up to go to class and had one of those mornings. Broke a glass getting something to drink, tripped over something going to my car, was late to class due to a wreck on the way there, not me thankfully. While at school we heard about a plane crash. Something about the wings blowing off. I went to work, went home. The next morning my roommate wakes me asking if I'm skipping class today. After he convinces me it is still Friday, I get up and go to class, after noticing the glass I broke is not broke. On the way, I pass the same wreck in the same spot. All day I wait to hear about the plane, but it never happens, ends up kinda normal day. The next day they arrest the shoe bomber and I have wondered if someone rewound that day to stop him and somehow I didn't reset with it. WTF dude. I wonder if anyone else had the same experience / also wasn't reset. A few months before my first car accident I dreamed about it happening. Everything from the sounds to the placement and the smell was the same. Thing is, the girl driving tried to get me to find a different ride because she didn't want to do any extra driving that day. After the crash, I told her about my dream and she said she had the same one the night before and that's why she didn't want to drive. Freaky hit dude. I've had a very similar situation minus the other people also having the same experience at the same time. Believe I dreamed of a scene before. Then all a sudden a really strong sense of deja vu came on and next thing I knew I was having what felt like an out-of-body experience. I knew what was going to happen before it happened for the next 30 seconds or so to the most minute detail. It was as if I had actually lived that scene before. Still can't explain it. It's so weird. That's because it already happened in a parallel universe. Bro. I had an Android phone which had a Google Cards feature option that could notify you like 15 minutes to home if you were out. I thought this feature was annoying and useless, so I kept the feature off. After several months of no cards notifications, one night I'm at home and a card pops up saying 35 minutes to home, pinning me at a random intersection on the other side of town. Let's call it First Street and Story. I think, that's weird, I'm not even way over there, I don't even know where that is, I've never been to that area. I go to my cards setting to turn it back off, but it's already turned off. That's weird. Next night, exact same thing happens. 35 minutes to home from First Street and Story. What the? Still definitely not over there. Check cards feature and the notifications are still turned off, so no idea why I'm getting a notification. A few days later, a friend and I are out running errands and he misses his intended exit, so he takes the next one. Once on the streets, I ask, where are we? I've never been over here. Suddenly a car to our right tries to turn left and crashes right into us. Messed up the wheel to be unable to turn, so he pulled forward to the curb to call a tow truck. We had our kids in the car, so I call my sister to pick us all up. When my sister asks me for the location, I look up at the street signs, First Street and Story. Goddamn, we can make a Nicolas Cage movie out of this. A similar weird phone navigation thing happened to me a while ago. I had been out on deliveries for my workplace all day, left at 5 AM and been driving for pretty much 14 hours and was finally on my way home again. I was in a bit of a reflective mood as I barreled my way along the motorway, a bit of an existential crisis mood. What am I doing here? What's it all for? Is it worth it? Why do I even bother, you piece of shit? You know, the usual cheery thoughts that plague you when left in your own headspace. What's the point? I was internally raging, what should I do? And then, at a part of the motorway with no junctions, no filter lanes, no reason for my phone to pipe up with anything, it says continue, until you reach your destination. Yeah. I thought. That's it. Continue. The best advice I've had in all of my life. I was 11 or 12, in the early 70s. Dad came home one Friday and announced we were going to Kings Island, a fairly new amusement park, tomorrow. I begged him to let me invite my friend Chris to come along. He said okay, as long as Chris could pay his own way. Great. Off to the phone I went. Pick it up, no dial tone. Hello? Author's name, is that you? Chris? I was just calling you, what's up? I was calling to ask if you'd like to come to Kings Island tomorrow, but you have to pay your own way. No, phone never rang. We both called each other at the same time, to ask the exact same thing. I also did that with a friend in college. We must have hit dial at exactly the same minute, because there we were listening to the silence, both waiting for the ringing to start, and then I heard her breathing. Super creepy. Liz? Yeah, why didn't your phone ring? I called you. I was around the same age when the ring came out. My friend from school and I both brought the DVD to school on the same day, just to show people we had it, I guess, and then when I went home I decided to watch it. At the part when Naomi Campbell gets the phone call, I just about jumped out of my skin because my phone ducking rang, at the exact time the movie phone did. Who was it? It was my friend from school, calling me to tell me that she had just been watching the movie and had the exact same thing happen to her. It freaked her out. Always thought that was a weird coincidence. That's pretty cool. It bothered me for some time. You made it to the end, you are a beast. Smash that like button and subscribe or the Matrix will disconnect you.